And we are live. Welcome to yet another episode of this YouTube series where we interview 100 sales professionals to help us build the ultimate sales platform with Luna.ai. As you know, I'm Steven. I'm one of the founders and CEO of Luna.ai. And before we dive in a bit about Luna.ai, we are the ultimate all-in-one B2B sales platform where we're using AI to find your perfect leads, to scrape the internet, to find everything there is to find, and to, in the end, also write mind-blowing sales emails. And as you know, we want to do much more than that. So that's why we have set up this series and interview sales professionals like Mahesh here to basically learn everything about their day-to-day and see what we can do to help. So let's dive in. Mahesh, to start it off with, can you maybe briefly introduce yourself and Freightify to the listeners?
Yeah. Hey, Steven, thank you very much for inviting me. So as he said just right now, I'm Mahesh, and what I do is I take care of revenue operations at Freightify. I mean, you're like a 3-member team and kind of independent contributors to the overall growth of the company. Freightify, let's say if I gotta sum that up in a quick elevator pitch, we help freight forwarders, they're the agents of your shipping industry, save time and sell faster by getting rates from their vendors. You're like a
Very
SaaS
cool.
and it's kind of a real vertical niche SaaS thing. It's not like Zoho or Chargebee where it's all over the place. It's really vertical and niche. So it would be really nice for you guys to get an idea on how things are for niche tech companies. Because all we hear about on the internet is all about, these famous mind-blowing reach kind of companies like HubSpot or Salesforce. And the silent growers, the vertical SaaS companies are kind of always silent, not really spoken about. So it'd be nice to share takes on how these companies grow too.
Yeah, 100%. I can see that. That's also really interesting because the thing is you hear a lot about these like Salesforce and HubSpot, like you say, but I think it's also much harder to have like such a huge company and such like a horizontal oriented company that's doing a little bit of everything and build that into a successful company. Where if you really dive down into a niche, then I can also imagine that is. Well, I was going to say easier, but easier is the wrong word because it's never easy. It's a lot of hard work.
Easy, yeah. It's always a mountain.
Yeah, exactly. Where you have to get over. Cool. Maybe also to give a bit of background for our users. You mentioned you are in revenue operations. Can you briefly explain what revenue operations is? What is your day to day? What's what is your list of responsibilities that you're working on?
Well, it kind of stretches, right? You take care of configuring things and setting up processes, workflows, and rules for marketing, sales, and customer success teams. On top of that, we also look at analytics, how marketing is performing, how sales is performing, how retention is happening, how much we're collecting, are we collecting enough, are we bringing enough cash in, bringing enough sales in, and we give some insights and action items to multiple teams and align them with strategy. Also do a lot of firefighting when it comes to, urgent data being required. I mean, Steven's smiling. I think he's gone through stuff like that before. Have you?
100%. Yeah, but I was also smiling because I love the term firefighting. That I can totally see that happening. You have this because Freightify is a pretty big company. I think there are like 300-400 people working there, something like that. That's what I saw online. But I saw something like that on.
What you just said.
Exactly. So that's basically people from all over the planet trying to sell all over the planet, and then I can imagine this. I was just visualizing like a small group of people running here and there, like to help everyone that has that is stuck or has some needs. So that's why I was.
I completely agree with you. Even in our office, the GTM, different teams within the GTM stack are sit in various corners. You have marketing sitting in one corner, SDR sitting in another one, success sitting in another one. So to speak to each and every teams, we got to go, move around and get some walking done. It helps us exercise.
Exactly. Get your steps in during the day. So like literally firefighting. Not literally fire, but like
It's enjoyable
running
though.
around and making sure that.
It's enjoyable. It really helps us understand what problems businesses face when they try to scale up. Because you don't
Yeah,
really, learn these in well-established companies. The actual
yeah,
problems you face when you try to scale up. So yeah, I really,
100%,
love working.
100%. Amazing. You've been with Freightify for 2 years now.
2 years.
So can you maybe describe a bit about what the company looked like at that moment compared to what it looks like now? Because it's a high growth company, so probably a lot has happened in the meantime.
Yeah, we kind of expanded a lot in terms of both revenue and also people. Region regions, I'd say the customer base has expanded, but region-wise, we primarily target Europe plus Africas and Americas primarily. We also have clients in APAC regions like Australia, UAE, and stuff. Primarily,
Yeah,
our most of our growth is from Europe and Americas. People-wise, we
gotcha.
did grow from 80, 90 to, as Steven just said, some somewhere around 300. I don't know the exact count right in the top of my mind, but yeah, revenue-wise too,
I can
we
imagine.
grew a lot in terms of revenue over the last 2 years. We kind of got some upmarket enterprise clients in, which helped us, build our product much better, catering to both SMBs and enterprise. You see both. If I gotta put it correctly, the way you handle SMBs and the way you handle enterprise clients are completely different. The sales cycles are way longer for enterprise clients. So many stakeholders involved. You got documentation, GRC, compliance, and these long questionnaires you got to fill up if you want to become a supplier. I mean, I went through all these. Helped me a lot.
Lucky you.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's one of the most awful part of sales. As like from my personal experience, personal perspective, that like speaking to the decision maker is one thing, and trying to convince them to close a deal is one thing. But then, like especially when you're doing enterprise sales, like the entire backlog behind it, when they're flying in this expert and flying in that expert,
Yeah.
and like all of these people that need to get their boxes checked. Oh man, that's awful.
I'd say awful, but you got to look at the ROI, the returns you get. If you go up market from SMB,
100%.
you I wouldn't say you're set for life, but you can show yourself to others like, hey, I got big clients. I've helped them solve XYZ problems. I think I can help you out easier.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And especially like the contracts that you're negotiating are not like, I'm going to check it out for like a month or two, but this is like, hey, I want this 5-year contract with this and that and so on. And then, yeah, I can imagine that is, that the ROI is awesome. Very cool. Did the RevOps team also already exist when you first joined, or were you like among the founding members of the team?
I wouldn't say there was a person doing RevOps, but the overall process and the scope of the team itself was limited to CRM management and collections, billing, subscription management and collections. So once I moved in, the scope expanded to revenue analytics, sales analytics, and revenue analytics, and then we moved into deal desks. And after that,
Gotcha.
and after that, we stepped into sales ops and markups, took care more of the CRM and how workflows are set up. Also, we're now also starting to work with marketing on traffic analytics, website analytics, your usual lead gen stuff.
Exactly.
Primarily, I have experience with revenue analysis because I specialize in finance. I mean, finance. I should have been a finance bro, to be honest. The stereotypical finance bro memes you see online. I should have become that,
Yeah.
but thankfully I got a job here. I didn't end up, I couldn't say that on stream. I couldn't describe the memes on stream. But if you know, kind of thing.
Yeah. 100%. That's very cool. Like, how did you start there? Like, I can also imagine when there's a lot happening already because the company was already substantial. Like you've grown fast, but the company was already substantial, and you basically get the responsibility from like, you know what, like RevOps, we have one person managing CRM, and now we're gonna expand it like with analytics and all of that stuff. Where do you get started with something like this? How did you do that?
So we started, from CRM and subscription management. The expansion was slow, I'd say. Right? We didn't really, blow up into a 3-member team in a couple of months. It took us a while, actually. We went from subscription management. Now, I'd say if I got to describe my journey, it was from subscription management and then slowly into revenue analytics. And then from there, it went to deal desk in terms of contracts, pricing management, making sure deals are signed fast, solving some bottlenecks in the whole process from when a customer agrees to a proposal right to when the customer signs the contract and cash is collected. I'd say code to cash is a much appropriate name for that. After that, we grew to sales ops in terms of pipeline analytics and sales metrics like velocity, activity, and stuff. After that, we moved to marketing. And this is when we became a 3-member team with people from MarkOps becoming part of RevOps. So we basically synchronized the whole customer journey, right from when you have a prospect till the point when they become a customer. It's kind of synchronized. Now, I'd say we still got a long way to go. Something I'd say, we still got a long way to go, even as a company and as a RevOps and a sales GTM stack, still got a long way to go. Yeah, geared up, suited up for that.
Exactly. Oh, and that sounds really good. Is there stuff that you found in the analytics that you did over the last 2 years where you're like, okay, this was something that was like very cool to see, or we made like a huge difference here, or like maybe something that you think will happen with other companies as well, where you can maybe share that and that people can look into that, or like, is there something interesting that you've seen in all of the analytics work that you've done so far?
Something interesting, I'd say in revenue analytics, I'd say lifetime value. A customer who pays you for longer is much better than a customer who pays you a lot of money but churns in a couple of months or a quarter or two. If you got a guy paying you $300 a month or $500 a month for 3 years, he's better than a customer who signs up for like $2,000 a month and he, pulls himself out in like 3-4 months. I think qualification is really important in terms of when it comes to selling. So if you qualify your leads correctly, churn can be minimized. That's what I noticed when it came to looking at churn numbers. Once you avoid all the misfits and the leads who signed up, prospects who signed up, and then found out that maybe this is not the right solution for us. Once we cut that down, our retention numbers became way better, basically. So 2 things.
Gotcha.
These are the 2 things to summarize, right? So a customer who pays us for longer is way better, and qualification during sales is extremely important to make sure we're prepared for scale. More than
did you also help it? Oh, sorry.
More than qualification, it's also important to have the right questions to ask to qualify.
Yeah. How did you determine those questions? Did you do that, or did the sales team do that?
Sales team came up with those, but we gave our insights on what kind of cohorts does churn look like? How does the cohort of the customers paying us well, sticking with us for long, compare to the cohort getting out faster? To compare these 2, and you arrive at some areas of the customer, like employee size, annual revenue, the type of flow that they are, what kind of business they do, where they operate, really plays a role in how long they stay with us. Because if a customer's got low business volume, he's got no business with us. he can do a few clicks and get the rates himself. No point in selling to them. There's one example. No specific, but still so specific. But this is like one example I can give you.
Yeah,
Go on, Stephen.
I can imagine.
Next for me.
Sorry?
Go on, Stephen. You wanted to say something.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is an interesting part because, like, I know that for many startups, the retention/churn metric is a very valid one, especially as they're venture backed, because every investor is always going to check their the customer love, right? How they call it, and basically to figure out is this company sustainably growing, because are they growing quickly but churning out a lot of people as well or not?
Yeah, exactly.
Which, interestingly enough, what you said, if the qualification is done better, then your retention number is increased. But that basically means that you're trading off revenue growth for retention.
In the end, you make more money. Exactly. In the end, you make more money. I mean, your sales number may look a bit lower than what it could have looked, but the money you bring in, it all depends on how much money you make over the year, ARR. That's how you're valued. So if you close big deals, but you can't retain them over at least 12 months, it's not the most ideal scenario. And I think you're really right when investors are now looking for profitable companies. The whole funding bubbles, it's actually, we came across Silicon Valley Bank. I hope our video doesn't get flagged for this. It wouldn't.
Probably not.
Especially with venture capital firms and lenders being more conscious about, hey, is this company, are they just lying to us about their revenue? Are they just signing a lot of contracts but not retaining them, or are they actually bringing cash in? And cash is also important for a startup. It's not just revenue. It's also about how much cash you bring in. I think
exactly, and that's the 100%. I 100% agree. That's a very interesting one, especially with the cash part. If you can get more revenue and more cash in, then you are less dependent on venture capital, which already increases the value of your company significantly.
That's correct, and it's also important to reduce the billing frequency. Like if you're signing monthly or quarterly invoices, if you're signing for monthly or quarterly payments, I mean, it is easy to sign, but once they come in, it is important for us to convert them into half-yearly or annual payments, because the more times they have to look at an invoice, and the more times they got to pay us, it just opens up the opportunity for churn. They may just look at the invoice and go and say, like, do I really need this? It always opens up the possibility, right? You just get an invoice and you think. I think we look at that for Netflix, right? We have Netflix every single month. We get billed every time. I don't have Netflix, but my parents have Netflix. Every time they get billed for Netflix, they think, "Do you really need this?" I still use Netflix.
Yeah. So you get like the debate internally, right? Like, do I still use it enough to validate, like, basically the fact that I'm paying this? So yeah, I agree. I 100% agree with that. Maybe one question also about specifically lead generation, because you're in RevOps, you get all of this data about your lead generation processes. Are there things that you've seen in the lead gen process for Freightify that have worked better than other stuff? What is basically your, without going into sharing too much, of course, what is your winning formula so far based on the data that you have?
Well, I'd say lead gen and prospecting itself, it's a numbers game, right? Here's what a lot of, I mean, people think, when we say to them, or not people in my company, but people who I know who are just getting into setting their business up and trying to scale up, my friends or people in my network, etc. And I say, you got to get 100 prospects, 150 prospects, and you got to reach out to them. They think, but is it really worth it? 150 prospects, should I? It's going to take me 5 hours. I'm not going to make any money doing that. That's what people who who do not know the value of lead generation think. They think it is cost, but I think lead generation and gathering leads, it actually makes you money. There's something called revenue per lead. If you have like 100 leads and you have a 40% or at least like 10% chance of closing them, those 100 leads, those leads are worth $10 to you. So
100%.
the more you start sending your emails, the more you start reaching out, following up, the more money you potentially start making, right? So you keep doing. Here's the thing, right? In prospecting, it's numbers and consistency. For one day, I mean, it's not going to make a big difference, but if you keep reaching out to 20 or 30 people every single 30, I'm talking about new people, new leads, 20 or 30 new leads every single day. I think it's extremely easily possible for any niche. It's easily possible, 30 leads a day. And if you keep reaching out to 30 new leads a day, brother, I tell you, within a month or two, you're going to have a handful of clients. And if you do not have a handful of clients after a month or two of reaching out to 30 leads a day, you got to revisit your process on how you generate leads. Are you even generating the right leads? Are you taking the right emails? I think Luna primarily focuses on emails, right? So I mean,
exactly. Yeah.
Are we like taking the right emails? Are we sending the right messaging? Is our copy waffly and sounds like Shakespeare wrote it? I mean, I get emails. It looks like William Shakespeare came back to life and he wrote an email to me. So much English. I speak English, but I mean, come on.
Exactly, especially with all of the AI companies popping up right now, where they're doing a basic GPT-4 injection. Yeah.
Got it. Yes, Stephen. Completely agree. Dear Mahesh, I hope this email finds you well.
Oh man.
We at XYZ will supercharge your growth and hyper turbocharge your Honda VTEC. Hey, come on, brother. Easy writing.
100%. Oh man, you're hitting a nail on the head. This is also for us a very interesting one, because like the AI email space is a very crowded one. But what we see, like basically every time I check a demo of a competitive product, I just check like, does their email start with "I hope this email finds you well," and then I just disregard it. I was like, okay, yeah.
I don't disregard it. I just think I don't disregard it. I keep that in mind. Hey, maybe in a couple of months I can reach out to him, ask him how his emails are doing, maybe sell some, do some fractional consulting to him.
Exactly. Oh, that's also very smart. It's very.
But I don't really end up doing that. I'm too busy at my own full-time job to actually do that. Well, I still keep that in mind. I got to reach out to this guy like 2 months later.
That's very cool. Are you using AI in your lead generation process at this moment at Freightify?
My company, we use Apollo, I think so, because I have not, got down in hands and got to understand what all the tools they use. But I heard that they use AI for prospecting to gather leads and nurture them.
Gotcha. That's also interesting. Like I don't know if you can answer this question, but that would be very cool. Like, do you see an impact in the data, in the analytics, from like using AI compared to not using AI? Because it's like, does AI actually help?
I'd say personally, from what I saw in terms of the sales process, I'd say note-taking AIs, the AI tools that take notes like Autopilot, Firefly, they help us a lot in understanding what actually went on the call without us sitting through each and every call and looking at them. Hearing them out, listening to them. It helps us save a lot of time and come up with actual keywords and terms, sentences, or the whole flow of the conversation and how it impacts a deal being closed or a deal thrown to lost. It also helps us in, giving a number, a probability kind of thing, looking just at the AI transcript. Personally, I don't use AI a lot because I write emails, first thing I do is make sure I write it. I never use AI, never use AI. But what I do is when I do market research, I like to use ChatGPT to understand the pain points, the traits, the behavior of the people in a particular niche. It's something I love to use AI for. It gives me a neatly written, this whole thing. These people at this industry have these pain points, and they would love to see solutions to help them out with X, Y, Z. And I'm still doing my research after that. But yeah, it's a great tool to understand what kind of questions you got to ask to your prospects.
That makes a lot of sense. Also helps you setting up your qualification process in that way.
It helps us, understand what kind of questions to ask. I mean, you can't go to a door frame manufacturer and ask if his car, if he wants a faster, a supercar, a Lamborghini. You can't go to I'm not telling the door frame manufacturers are broke. They're looking for solutions that can help them sell more door frames.
Exactly. Yeah. I completely agree. Yeah, and that's also the interesting thing that's been happening, I think, in the AI world and with the AI hype going on. That a lot of people think AI solves everything, and the fact that an email is written by AI, that it is automatically perfect. But more and more we see AI emails being sent, the more we understand that this is not the case. So thank you very much for sharing that insight. That's very valuable.
Much appreciated. Yeah. And also, I think even with AI being on one side, I think humans writing like AI should also be avoided. That's something we got to avoid, right? There's AI in one side, and there are people writing like AI. I mean, I see mails in my inbox that would, give them a really high score on a high school English essay, but not really much when it comes to click-through rates and open rates. And I have my friends who run newsletters, they email campaigns. All they do is write simple copies. Hey, you know what? I help you. I give you information that helps you market and sell better. Why not subscribe to my newsletter? Emails like these, they get 40% open rates. Instead of discover how my email will help you compound your growth and skyrocket your ROI. And your JTBD or ABCD when it comes to
100%. We built this cutting edge, high tech software solution.
Now the reason why I tell this to you a lot is because Luna is a tool that simply helps people write better emails better, right? The more personalized emails and the right messaging. Because when it comes to marketing, message, media, audience, these three, if you nail these, you're sorted when it comes to marketing.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, the 3 M's. Message, media, what was the third one?
Audience.
Message, media, market, audience. Okay,
audience,
so it's not 3 M's. But I think we have the same thing in sales as well. We always refer to it like as the targeting, the timing, and the copy of the email. They all need to be perfect. So it's not just the copy, it's also the timing and the targeting.
Right.
Sending an email to the wrong person is not going to help, but sending the right email to the right person at the wrong time.
Right time, yeah. Can't really set it like at 1 a.m. in their local time. It's going to be swept right down their inbox.
Exactly. So you need to reach them at the right time. So that's indeed what we've been working on. But also in that sense, like this is a question that I'd like to ask all of the people that are on this show, because as you know, we are trying to build the ultimate AI and sales tool, or basically sales tool, where we are using AI wherever it seems like a good fit, and we know that it delivers better results. If you take a look at your current, maybe not only your current way of working, but also from the sales teams that you are helping with the RevOps right now, what would you say is the one thing that you're missing, where you're like, oh man, they're still doing that manually, but that should not be manually anymore, or like I never really know when I'm doing the right stuff and when I'm doing this, or basically open question, what would be the one thing where you're like, that would change the course of our company in a very positive way?
One thing that involves AI and that was changed the course of the company, I'd say task management and consistency, making sure like the correct tasks are given to the correct people and accountabilities and shit. I think I came across this impressive, amazing app called Cascade. Have you heard of it?
What did you say? Taskgate?
Cascade, Taskade.
I'll
It's an AI
look it
tool.
up.
It's an AI tool where you just type out your problem or what you want to do in the next, I don't know, like 1 week or 2 weeks. It's going to give you a full-fledged action plan. What tasks you got to do, what people you got to involve for these tasks. I think this would solve a lot of problems we currently face in our RevOps team where, we're doing a lot of stuff. We got our hands full. We don't have time to go to Jira or Trello and create tickets for each and everything. We don't have the time for that. I'd much rather finish my work than go to Jira or Trello or whatever task management app and, it's like make tickets, assign it to people and, do all that. So
that makes sense.
AI help us out with, the task order, card management, process management would really, project management would really help. An AI to predict what's going to happen to our pipeline would be awesome.
Amazing. That's actually a really cool idea.
So an AI that takes into account the activity, the notes, the transcripts, the overall emotion of what went through in a sales call. An AI that takes into account all this and gives us all a weighted score, a weighted probability number on if this deal is going to move down the pipeline or if this deal is going to be thrown off. This would really help us out, because a lot of times we've got to sit through each and every call and listen to what happened there or read the transcript. The problem is, humans are humans, right? We would not pick up on stuff that AI would pick up or an algorithm that's trained on to pick up certain words would pick up.
No.
So I'd say
nice
accountability and project management and also forecasting. These two powered by AI would be awesome, actually.
Very cool. Very cool. I'll speak to the team and we'll start thinking about how we can do that. But I really, really like it. And I'm going to check out the other company as well. I haven't heard of them yet, but it sounds really awesome. Thanks so much for sharing that.
I think, have you heard of this metric, Stephen? NPS, Net Promoter Score?
Yeah.
I think for Cascade, I'd have a score of like 9999999. I have a score of that because everybody I come across, I just say, what, use Cascade. Helps me a lot. I got to do a lot of stuff. I got to wake up. I got to do my stocks. I got to do gym. I got to take care of my pets. It helps me. It literally gives me a day-to-day schedule. It also helps you, if you have a full-time job, a side hustle, another side hustle, another responsibility. If you use an app like that, it will give you the tasks, the daily tasks you got to do right to the finest dot. I love it, to be honest. Something like that, built by Luna.ai, primarily to cater to salespeople and marketers, SDR teams who send out emails, cold emails. What do you think about cold emails, Stephen? Because I keep reading articles telling them, cold calling, cold emails are dead. We got to do inbound. We got to do this, that. What do you think about that?
Like in terms of channels, you mean? Like what the perfect channels are, or?
Not the perfect channel, because when I open LinkedIn or Instagram, a lot of times I come across posts that say, hey, cold emailing, cold calling in 2024 is, it's going to die. It's going to be guillotined. And, my technique that uses your organic, whatever, uses your, I don't know, blah, 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 it's way better. What do you think about that? Because I think traditional cold calling and cold emailing is always, it doesn't die that easily. It existed since the dawn of mankind. Cold outreach. So what do you think about that?
Exactly. That's what I think as well. I think that like the people that are posting that on LinkedIn, they probably have some valid ideas which have worked for them in the past, but one thing that we see in our data is that basically the only kind of personalization that really works is I'm trying to understand you as a person and trying to understand, okay, what's the right timing, but what's also the right way. And the fact that I can figure out that you're like a basketball player and that I say, oh man, it's awesome that you love basketball, which is super personalized, doesn't make any sense at all, because I would say, oh, it's cool that you like basketball, blah, blah. When I'm in the area, we should totally shoot hoops sometimes. And then after that, I pitch my software startup, which it's not relevant at all, right? So you need to show that you truly understand the individual person. Problems. And yeah, exactly. And that's the thing that works. And that's the thing what's also what our assumption is, our hypothesis is what's happening now. The cost of sending out a lot of emails, and especially a lot of personalized emails, has decreased significantly with the use of AI. But people are going to figure out that that's just not going to work. And from the beginning, since we've been working on this with Luna, we've always been quality over quantity, meaning that hopefully in the future, more and more companies are really going to focus on the quality of the outreach instead of being able to send out like 10,000.
Sending out to everyone on Earth, send out to the highest chance of people. I think that also applies to marketing, Facebook ads, Google ads, and SEO, right? Instead of like 100%. Targeting your ad for the entire population, narrow that down to the exact people you want to reach at. I like to use this exactly. I agree with you. I like to use this example. You take blowtorches. The blowtorch example. If you're selling blowtorches, you don't set everyone as your audience. You probably have men 35 or 30 to 50. They are the ones who buy blowtorches.
Exactly. 100%. You got to know your audience. You got to know what they respond to, and yeah.
Correct. 100%. I'm not misogynistic, but if I'm selling blowtorches, I'm not going to target all women 18 to 30 or 18 to 45. The same way, if I'm selling skincare and makeup products, I'm not going to target men 35 to 45. It's going to be women 20 to 30, something like that. So yeah, now cutting through the clutter is extremely important, because everywhere you go, there's so much ads and so much marketing. You got to be sharp and precise. It's really true what you just, I think both of us said, right? You talk about email marketing, that's got to be of high quality, not sending out to 1,000 people at once.
Exactly. That's the main thing, and that's always going to be the main thing.
Correct.
Amazing. Correct. Thank you so much, Mahesh, for sharing all of these insights. We've come to the end of the interview. Before we close it off, is there anything that you'd like to share with the audience? I just want to give you the podium and basically share anything that you want to share about yourself, about Freightify, or anything else.
It's not going to be about me and the company. It's going to be about how it benefits the audience listening. So there was one question which was listed in the probable questions that would be asked. It's like, what is the one thing about selling and sales that you want to address? I'd say, there's this, when you're, especially in B2B sales, which Luna.ai would help, you got to set your frame correctly, the frame of yourself, right? Something I call the doctor's frame. So when you have a problem or a pain or some pain in your body, you go to the doctor. He doesn't throw 1,000 pills at you. He doesn't say, hey, come on in, buy my pills. Hey, look at this, I got new pills, they make you fly. If a doctor does that, I'm gonna run away. You know what they do? They come, you open the door, they okay, hey, they shake your hand, and you sit down. They pause for a second, they keep asking questions. Ask about your symptoms, ask about your pain points, ask what led to this, ask what led to the pain point, or what led to the problem. If you have one problem, or you have another set of problems, and then they prescribe a solution, and they try to test it out to see if the solution works for you. If it works, all fine. If it doesn't work, they're gonna rework. They're gonna prescribe another solution down the it'll make a huge difference when you try to sell to people, right? You'll get better clients. You'll close better. I'd say you close more clients. You close better clients. You close them at a better price, And it is easy for you to do business with them because they think of you as the expert, not the guy who wants to throw some pills and snake oil at you. And no one wants to be sold something, right?
Exactly.
People love to buy. They love to spend money. I mean, you see these iPhones. They sell like hotcakes every single year. Although, to be honest, from what I see, they're not really different from each other.
100%.
People want to buy, but they hate being sold to. So if you position yourself as the expert consultant, as opposed to the pushy, annoying salesman, you're gonna close a lot of clients. You're gonna close them faster. You're gonna close them at a better price, and you're gonna. And what's to say? You can also befriend them, become develop a lot of rapport and become friends. Just like that. One of the biggest things that people have to understand about sales, it's not pushing a product aside, it's about helping people with their problems by being the one-eyed man. Like people around you are blind. You gotta open your one eye. In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. It's my favorite
100%.
quote. It's my favorite quote.
100%.
So anything.
I love that one.
Oh,
I love that one. Amazing, man. Thanks so much for sharing that. That's super valuable for the audience, and I'm really glad that although at the end of the interview we still managed to get that one in. So appreciate you saying that, but also sharing the rest of the valuable insights and experiences that you have shared so far. I think it's a great interview packed with a lot of good stuff. For now, I want to thank everyone listening in and tuning in for taking the time to listen to this. If you have any questions or want to reach out to Mahesh, you can probably find him on LinkedIn or check out Freightify online. And hope to see you again at the next episode. And Mahesh, thank you so much for
thank you very much for inviting me, Stephen. Yeah, and all of you listening, thank you very much. I hope to connect with you again on LinkedIn and keep talking about how to sell more and sell better. It's been lovely to do that.
Sounds awesome. Thanks so much. See you at the next episode.